So today I am going to be doing a series review, and the series that I am going to be talking about is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. So I read Cinder last year. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and that's a retelling of Cinderella, obviously. And I definitely needed to continue with the series. That was one of my top priorities of this year, along with finishing the Throne of Glass series. This was my second priority, was to finish the Lunar Chronicles, because I loved Cinder, and I actually have a review of Cinder that I did, so I'll leave that link down below. But I loved it, and I needed to finish on with the series, so that's what I did this month. And I read Scarlet Cress and Winter, and then also Ferris, which is the novella. It's Queen Lavanna's story, which I really loved reading that and seeing kind of her backstory and how she grew up and how she got to be where she's at. So yeah, this is kind of my review of the whole series. I absolutely love this series. This has become another favorite series of mine, and I just want to read anything and everything that Marissa Meyer puts out, because I loved the Lunar Chronicles. So overall, I gave the whole series, would probably average about 4 stars, 4 out of 5 stars on average for the entire series. So Scarlet, I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Cress, I gave 4 out of 5. Ferris, I gave 5 out of 5 stars. And Winter, I gave 5 out of 5 stars. And then Cinder, I gave 5 out of 5. So I guess I'll just start with, since I already have a review of Cinder, like I said, I'll leave it linked down below. I'm just going to start with Scarlet and talk about that and kind of go through the series. So, yeah, Scarlet is Scarlet's story. This is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. And I actually really liked Scarlet. I really enjoyed it. I know some people say that they didn't like it as much as Cinder because they wanted to see more of Cinder in here and follow more of her story, which we do see Cinder in here. We still get her story, but it goes back and forth between Cinder's story and Scarlet's story. And I think maybe unlike some people, I actually liked Scarlet's story. I liked seeing what was going on with her and her trying to find out where her grandmother is and trying to rescue her grandmother. And so I did really enjoy Scarlet's story. I felt equally invested in both what was going on with Cinder and what was going on with Scarlet. And I had no problem with it going back and forth, which usually I don't like when books go back and forth between either different characters or different timelines or whatever, because usually I'm more invested in one part than the other. But in Scarlet, I was actually invested in both pretty equally, and I really wanted to see what was going to happen with Scarlet's character. I really liked Scarlet's character. I really enjoyed seeing her. Scarlet is like this really tough, like, no nonsense, don't give me any bull type of girl. She's like, okay, I need to find my grandmother. You're going to help me. You're going to tell me what I need to do. And if you jerk me around, I will shoot you. Scarlet is that type of girl. And I loved her because she's also this, like, small town farm girl. So you wouldn't really expect her to be, like, so tough and, like, mess with me and I will shoot you. And so I really loved Scarlet. I liked her character and I liked seeing her. In this, I liked seen her story. I will say, her story, when she meets Wolf and she gets with Wolf, I will say, if one of your pet peeves is insta love, there is insta love in this one, and in Crest too. So Scarlet and Crest both kind of have insta love in them. But I will say, because I don't like insta love, I can't stand insta love, but I will say that I wasn't as bothered by the insta love in this series, and I think that has to do with the fact that the characters all admit, like, they know this is insta love. They acknowledge the fact that it's insta love, and I think that kind of helps me to not be so annoyed with it. Because even at the end of Scarlet, Wolf says something to the fact, like, I know it's crazy because we've only known each other a couple of days and it's ridiculous, but, it pretty much is telling her he loves her even though they've only known each other a couple days. So it does acknowledge the fact that this series, these couples are insta love. So I think that's what helped me to not hate it as much and not be so annoyed with it as much. The only other thing I'll say with the story is, as much as I loved Scarlett's character, there are some parts where I'm just like, I wanted to smack her. I'm like, Scarlett, what the hell are you doing? I know you're smarter than this girl. You're a smart girl. What are you doing? There's some decisions she makes that I just wanted to smack her. But, other than that, I love this one. Like I said, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next story I'm going to talk about is Press, and this is the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles. And this is a Rapunzel retelling, as you can tell by the cover, because look at all that hair. I did really enjoy this one. I know a lot of people have said that Crest was their favorite book in the series. It wasn't my favorite, but I did really enjoy it. My favorite was Winter, but I still really enjoyed Crest. I gave this one also 4 out of 5 stars. I loved Crest's character. She is super smart. She's a hacker. She did remind me a little bit of Felicity from Arrow. I really liked her character. Crest is definitely the hopeless romantic. She is pretty much who I was in high school. Completely the total hopeless romantic. She's like super huge crush on Thorn, and I actually think they are super cute together. Thorn and Crest, because she really wants to see the good in him, even though he's like, I don't want to disappoint you. I'm not this good guy that you're thinking I am. I'm not this hero that you're thinking I am. And I feel like I'm going to disappoint you, and I don't want to disappoint you. But she, continues to see the good in him and continues to believe the best in him. And so I really liked their relationship. In this one, they were really cute. They're one of my favorite couples in this series. All of the couples are cute, but I think they're like one of the cutest ones. Like I said, she's adorable. She's like this hopeless romantic and wants to believe in the best in others and wants to help out with Cinder and the revolution, wants to help out in any way that she can. And she's braver than she seems, especially for someone who grew up without much interaction with other people. And so some of the things she has to do, um, it's like, you would think she would be too timid for, but she's a lot braver and tougher than I think most people give her credit for. And so I really liked, because I loved a lot of the characters in this series. One thing I will say is I loved how all of their stories start to intertwine, and you kind of see how, their stories connect, and like it's so much bigger, like with Cinder and Scarlet meeting Scarlet and having their stories intertwined, and then they meet Cress, and how her story kind of gets intertwined with them, and like, it was just really cool seeing how, even though they all come from hugely different parts of the world, Cinder is from like an Asian country, Scarlet's from France, Cress is from like outer space, middle of nowhere outer space, but then her story ends up taking her to Africa. And it's crazy how all of their stories are so different, and they're from vastly different places, but it all connects. It all ends up connecting. They all end up having something to do with Cinder and Levana and all of that. So I liked seeing how their stories intertwined. So then after that, I read Fairest, which is Queen Levana's story, and we get to see her backstory in here. We get to see how she came to be the Queen of Luna. We get to see a little bit of her upbringing with her sister, Queen Shannery. And, we thought Levana was, mean. Shannery, seeing her sister in here, Queen Shannery, it's like, wow, she really is abusive. I was like, no wonder Levana ended up how she is. She had neglectful parents. She had an abusive sister. I almost felt bad for her. Almost. I did feel a little bit bad about the things she had to go through and endure growing up from her sister and everything. But at the same time, I can't excuse the horrible things that she did. And what's really interesting that I liked about this is seeing how the things Levana does, especially in the story, she does it for the sake of love. She says she's doing it because of love, and she's in love with this card, and but she doesn't know what love really is. She has no understanding or comprehension of what love really is. And so she does all these horrible things, and she says it's because she loves them, but it's like, no. If you love them, you wouldn't be doing all this stuff. And so it was just really interesting seeing her backstory and seeing how she got to be where she is, why she is where she is, and also kind of the backstory of her glamour. Because we know from the series, even from the first one in Cinder, she always has a glamour on. She never lets anyone see her real face, how she really looks. And we understand a lot more why that is from this book. Something happens to her at a young age. Something her sister does which causes her to, she always feels like she needs to have a glamour on. She can't let anyone see how she really is. And so I really liked Levana's story. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I almost felt bad for her because of the stuff she endures from her sister. But at the same time, it doesn't excuse all the horrible crap that she does. And so, yeah, I liked it though. And then finally, I will talk about Winter. This is the last book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I loved Winter. This was my favorite book in the series. And that may also partly be due to the fact that Winter is my favorite character in the series. I absolutely loved Winter. She's adorable, and she's, I feel like the type of character people really underestimate because of her disease. So with the Luna disease, she kind of like has hallucinations, and she's not all the way there, and people will call her crazy, nutcase, all this stuff, and they say she's like the broken one or broken princess or whatever. But I really feel like people really underestimate her a lot. And she's really smart, even though she does have hallucinations at times, and her mental state is sort of deteriorating. She's still very smart. I just think she's really underestimated. She's very compassionate, and I love her her strength to stick to her morals, because she is one that she refuses to use her lunar gift to manipulate anyone. She's like, no, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like Levana. Even if I think it's for a good cause, she, doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to manipulate people. And so I thought that was amazing of her. Even though not using her gift causes sort of her mental deterioration, she's still like, nope, not gonna do it. Doesn't matter what happens to me, not gonna do it. And so I just loved Winter's character. Like I said, she is my favorite character in this series. And then I just loved Jason as well, how he protects Winter. Like, he doesn't see her as being broken. He says, you're not broken, there's nothing wrong with you. And he's always there to like protect her, and like he helps her get through the hallucinations. And Jason, I just thought was so sweet with the Winter, and I was just like, I really like them together. They're another one of my favorite couples because they are super cute, and I just love how he is with her, and he sees her differently than everyone else. Everyone else calls her crazy and nutcase and like all this stuff, but he really sees her for who she is, and he loves her, and I'm just like, oh, I love them so much. And so yeah, they're another one of my favorite couples. I will say I really liked how the plot in Winter was going. And one thing that I really liked about it was kind of how, like, you never really knew what was going to happen. So, obviously we have all of the characters come to a head in Winter. We see all of the characters. We see Scarlet, Crest, Cinder, and Winter. Of course, along with all the other characters that were introduced in the other books as well. And so, um, with this one though, you never really knew what was gonna happen and how it would all end. And there are times where it kept going back and forth. Like you would think, okay, they're gonna do it. They're winning. They're making progress, and then something happens, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I think someone's gonna die, and then it always kept you on your toes. And there's so much action that happens in this, and it just keeps you guessing as to what's gonna happen, especially when the characters split up, and then you're like, okay, what's gonna happen with them? Okay, now what's gonna happen with them? Some of the characters, especially Cinder, gets into situations where it's like, okay, this is the end for them. I don't know what they're gonna do now. But, yeah, it goes back and forth like that. Where you think Lavana's winning, and then now things change, and then they change again, and then it changes again. And so you're kind of just like, okay, what's gonna happen? Just tell me. It makes it really unpredictable because you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. Especially that final battle scene at the end. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but that scene was just a complete shock to me. I was just like, what the heck is happening? So, yeah, that end was such a shock to me. But overall, I really enjoyed this. I loved just about everything that happened here. I really liked how it ended, how things wrapped up, and I'm actually kind of sad that this is the end and there's no more. Well, there is a little bit more because I still need to read Stars Above. So, yeah, I'm going to read Stars Above soon, and I'll get a little bit more from this world, but I'm just not ready for it to end. Definitely my favorite fairy tale series, for sure. So that's pretty much it, you guys. That's it from my series review on the Lunar Chronicles. Like I said, I loved this series so much. Overall, the whole series I'd probably give 4 out of 5 stars. So if you guys have read the Lunar Chronicles, if you've read the whole series, or even just part of it, let me know in the comments below what some of your thoughts were on the series. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!